Don't move a muscle because it's time for video games on GGSP. I'm Will.
I'm Jem. And I'm Rad. And Will, we do have to move muscles because we got to shoot some hoops. Coming up on the show, it's the glitz and glamour of life in the top flight as we review NBA 2K20.
Here's Davis. Good.
Plus, two young U reviewers take on the Mario Brothers.
If you want, I could throw you off now. Do not throw me off the cliff.
Hey, who threw that?
Sorry, Jem. Just warming up my three-pointer.
Darren.
Back up, back up, back up, back up. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Back up, back up. I'ma need you to back up. You guys like that? I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. Still in the tees, stirring the cup. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up. I'ma need you to back up.
That rhythm and flow.
NBA 2K20 is the newest game in the well-established basketball series. If ball is your life, then you'll be thrilled at the amount of included detail in all the NBA teams.
Oh, absolutely. There's dozens of real players and teams that not only look incredibly lifelike, but come with a deep set of stats. It's pretty impressive how they've managed to capture all these real people and distill their skills into a bunch of numbers.
Totally. This is definitely a game for the stats lovers. There's an overwhelming amount of detail, with charts galore across all modes. The My GM mode, in which you play as a team's general manager, is particularly based on managing these stats.
Rad, I couldn't help but notice how unique your character model is here.
Oh yeah, everyone I made was terrifying. The realism with which people are rendered means that making them look a bit odd is even more uncomfortable. Unfortunately though, while some parts of the game look incredible, there's also some very badly animated and awkward moments.
Tell the folks goodbye, Shaq. Tell the folks goodbye.
Goodbye.
Get it? Goodbye.
I also tried to use the mobile app to scan my face and put it on the main character in the My Career single-player mode, and am I that puffy in real life?
Y'all my team. We gonna grind together, guys. This is our time.
Rad, you know I love you, but don't ask questions you don't want answered. I absolutely take your point though, and I agree. I too found big gaps between areas with lots of detail and others where there was hardly any. You can customize so much in this game, but you can't make a single female character? I mean, surely that would be a more interesting addition than deciding what kind of hoops you want in My GM mode.
Oh, totally. But they have included a WNBA season this time, which is pretty cool. It's exciting to get to play as a women's team. There's also Blacktop, which is a street-style mode where you can play on a half-court. This is really handy to practice too, because the gameplay's the same, but having fewer players on the court gives you more space to breathe and think. So you can hone your skills to land those sick dunks. Of which I did not get very many because, Jem, I am bad at this game.
Oh, me too, Rad. Try as I might, I can't defend to save my life. The tutorial is a bit lacking. You can only look at individual moves, then practice those. But these are viewed through a ridiculous menu that has the name of the move taking up half the screen, while the video of what it actually is shown in a tiny box. As someone who isn't a basketball nerd, this wasn't helpful at all. I just wanted to be able to get a good grip of the controls.
Yeah, I didn't know what half the moves meant, and the tutorial didn't really make it any clearer. If you don't know basketball jargon, then you'll be looking up a lot of things because there's very little guidance. Gameplay also feels inconsistent, as it's hard to determine what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right. For example, during drills, it didn't seem to matter how close I got to perfect timing, so my success felt pretty random.
Some modes do give you a bit of indication as to how you're doing, such as My Career and My Team, which gives you a rating and tells you when you've executed a move well or failed. It gives you a little bit of an idea, but doesn't tell you how to get better, which was what I was really craving.
The motion has been improved in 2K20, and some mechanics have been simplified for the better. But unless you've played previous NBA games, you may feel quite lost. Although you do get to do a few drills in the rather impressive My Career story mode.
Here you play as an up-and-coming rookie looking for his next big break. Characters are well fleshed out, and there's some beautifully rendered famous faces. The story is fairly cheesy, and you get team and sponsorship deals regardless of how terrible you are. But it's a good bit of fun.
The sponsorship and branding of the game is pretty full on though. I feel like I had more conversations with brand reps about which company to sign to than I did games of basketball. At times it just felt like a big ad.
Oh, and the microtransactions in some modes are full on. My team basically feels like it exists to push microtransactions, having you buy player card packs to build a team that can be played against the computer or others online. While you can earn premium currency in-game, packs are so expensive that it feels set up to encourage you to spend a few dollars to save a lot of time.
And cards are randomized, so if there's a particular player that you want, you could be waiting a long time or spending a lot of money. Everything about this mode feels a bit like a casino to me, and I didn't like it.
Overall, I found that NBA 2K20 wasn't great for newcomers like me. It really needs a better way to teach all the new ballers all the ins and outs. So I'm giving it 2.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to jump in and enjoy playing some basketball, but it doesn't feel like the game gives me the opportunity to improve and learn. I'm giving it 2 out of 5 rubber chickens. You wanna play some real basketball?
Thought you never ask.
Nope, nope. Shoot.
Good spawning, Australia! It's time for the scoop! With me, Darren! Joining me today is one of everyone's favourite humanoids. Please welcome Will!
Oh, thanks, Darren. You're one of my favorite robots.
One of your favourite robots? Who are the others?
Hey, isn't it time for Darren's challenge?
Oh, affirmative! It's time for Darren's challenge! Water is a feature of many games, but which game does this particular water come from? Answer at the end of the scoop. Now to the news. First up, hold on to your buttons, gamers, because PlayStation recently dropped a bombshell revelation. According to PlayStation, the commonly known X button is actually officially called the cross button. Social media furor ensued. Even Xbox weighed in.
So let me get across this. Players were cross that the cross is actually not called an X?
Exactly. Does this come as a dual shock to you, Boatmeal? Ah, fair point. He thinks it makes sense because, as PlayStation UK pointed out, we don't call the circle button an O, do we?
Oh, well, I think this debate will continue to push people's buttons.
Oh, affirmative. Now, Nintendo's latest foray into fitness gaming has got me thinking about gamer size. So let's work it out in Darren's dialogue box. Nintendo recently announced their Ring Con peripheral and companion adventure game. So, does gamifying fitness make exercise more fun? Or will this be just another expensive plastic peripheral in the cupboard? What do you think, Will?
Well, Nintendo's not exactly reinventing the wheel or ring here. Remember Wii Fit? That was hugely popular.
Affirmative. And fitness gaming, or exergaming, can have a range of uses. Wii Fit and the Balance Board have been used for physical therapy and in aged care.
Right, plus integrating the fitness stuff with an adventure game is kind of intriguing, so look, I'll give it a chance.
Let's get physical. All right, moving on now to the extra scoop. What have you got, Will?
Well, a game jammer known as Sully has created the classic strategy game Sid Meier's Civilization in Microsoft Excel. Known as Cell-Ivization, it includes the ability to build up units and attack opponents with plans to add even more features.
Splendid! If there's one thing I like more than spreadsheets, it's world domination! Now, before we go, it's time for the answer to Darren's challenge! The water pictured here comes from Sea of Thieves.
Oh, wow, the Sea from Sea of Thieves.
It's quite the celebrity. Now, all jokes aside, that's all the scoop we have for today. Until next week, good night, Australia.
I might have to start training now for that ring con thing.
I could train you, Will. Engage your core. No pain, no gain.
Hi, I'm Tennyson.
And I'm Leo.
And today we're going to be reviewing
New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. You just sent me out of that. Just cut me a mushroom.
Watch out!
Oh yeah, Mario time!
I'd describe New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe as a fun, colourful platformer for all ages.
I would describe the game as something that all Mario lovers would like. It's got all the original themes and power-ups and storyline, I guess. And to Bowser.
And to Bowser.
But with this game, it actually has 3D elements, which makes everything nicer to look at.
Yoshi!
Okay, let's go Yoshi.
The objective of the game is to get to the end of the level, basically. Yes! We're surviving! We were mainly playing in the story mode, where you have a big world map and they're just standard Mario levels that you just have to beat.
We're doing fantabulously. I like the level design and themes.
My favourite level was one of the ones in the soda jungle. All the pipes, image and backgrounds looks like it was a hand-painted image.
Painted swampland.
If you're a newer or more casual player to the game, you could play as someone like Nabbit.
Nabbit, I would say, is the best character because by using him, you can dash through obstacles and enemies and it won't do any damage to you.
Are you just gonna run through every single enemy and not care at all?
Yes. The multiplayer experience is kind of good and kind of bad.
Playing together, in theory, it makes it easier, but when you're actually playing in multiplayer, sometimes it just gets a little chaotic with jumping on each other's heads, throwing each other bubbles, stuff like that. Are you in the bubble?
Yeah, I'm in the bubble.
I'll save you.
Yeah, save me. Thanks. I had a bit of difficulty, I'd say, because my teammate kept throwing me off places where it wouldn't have been ideal for that.
If you want, I could throw you off now.
I wouldn't like that.
In the game, I was kinda spamming the grab button and just throwing a lot.
I survived.
IQ over 9,000.
I survived. But it's still fun to play with other people.
I'm such a good teammate, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
My least favorite thing is the level design could sometimes feel a bit simple and not that interesting, especially near the beginning. A lot of the themes are reused from earlier games.
The live system is kind of a drag because each time you die, you lose a life, and it's pretty easy to die in Mario. And since you only get 5 lives at the start, it can be kind of tedious.
Oh, I just remembered I only have 1 life.
My favourite thing about the game is that it brings a lot of things to the table. The graphics are nice, the music is nice, it gives you a good feel when you play it. Yay, we did it! I would rate this game a 5 out of 5 rubber chickens because even with some of its disadvantages, it can be a really fun game to play.
Do you have
Boom!
I think New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe is a really good family-friendly game in general, but I don't think it really brings anything new to the Mario franchise. It's just kind of reusing old games and elements. I would give New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe 3.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
I think we won.
We won!
Okie dokie, Rad, strap yourself in for another exciting batch of Ask SP questions.
Oh, Gem, I am strapped in. Click, clack, front and back. So let's tackle these questions, starting with this one from Sands in Snowdon, Queensland. Heya, you've been busy answering these questions, huh? I got some questions for you. 1. When will Deltarune Chapter 2 come out? 2. Is Undertale available on iOS? 3. Will Darren get his cooking show out? Rad, do these. And if you don't answer, you'll have a bad time. A really bad time!
Thanks, Sans. If you're wondering when Deltarune Chapter 2 will come out, well, it could be a while. The developer Toby Fox said, "I have no method of estimating that, but at least several years. Let's say 4,000 years. Actually, in the time of answering this question, it went up to 4,001 years. 4,000 years? 4,001 years. But look, I'm sure that's a bit of a humorous exaggeration in classic Toby Fox style. But he has confirmed he's at least working on it.
As for whether Undertale is available on iOS, well, it's not officially available for mobile at the moment. It could happen one day, I guess, but I haven't heard anything about it yet.
Now to whether Darren will get his cooking show out, well, let's ask him.
Hello, Darren speaking.
Hey Darren, Sans is just wondering how your cooking show is going.
Oh yeah, what was it called? Darren's Gourmet Gamer?
Well, to be honest, development's reached a bit of a standstill. Mumbot is an executive producer, you see, and let's just say there have been some creative differences, so it's on the back burner, as it were, simmering away like a delicious stew. See what I did there with the cooking metaphors and the similes and such?
You're quite the wordsmith. Hey, Darren, why don't you stick around and help us with this next question?
Oh, I'd love to.
Well, next up we have a question from Tiana in Melbourne.
Hey GGSP, I have a question for you. Do you know of any good mystery/adventure games on iOS or PC?
Thanks, Tiana. Oh, what would you suggest in the way of good mystery and/or adventure games for iOS and PC, Darren?
Oh, I would recommend the classic Secret of Monkey Island games for some zany point-and-click adventure fun.
Oh, nice. Well, we'd better let you get back to sorting out that stuff with Mumbot. Thanks, Darren. Bye.
Oh, you're most welcome. Bye-bye.
As for my recommendations, I'd suggest Layton's Mystery Journey or Broken Age for iOS, or maybe even the Room series of mobile games. They're technically more puzzle games, but they're pretty mysterious.
There's also a quick and quirky little indie game for PC called The Haunted Island, a frog detective game. It's from an Aussie dev, Grace Bruxner, and there's a sequel coming out to that soon if you like it. Oh, and if you're a Harry Potter fan, there's always Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery on iOS. But the mystery there is more to do with why the game isn't better.
Ooh, burn! But didn't I see that you're actually still playing that, Jen?
What? No. Oh, look, there's a question, and it's a video one from the Quizmaster, aka Ethan. Yep, that looks right. Let's look at that.
Show me your phone.
No.
Show it.
No!
What's your favourite Mario character? How do you get past Sand Kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey? And how do you get past the Elite Four in Let's Go Pikachu? Done.
Thanks, Quizmaster Ethan. If you're wondering what our favourite Mario characters are, well, it's no secret that I love the lanky purple-clad charm of Waluigi most of all. My beautiful son, Waluigi. What about you, Jem?
I'm rather partial to Yoshi.
Oh, yes, I like Yoshi too. A fellow fan of eggs. Did you know that birds can divert calcium from their own bones to strengthen the shells of the eggs they produce?
I did know that only because you keep telling me things about eggs.
Oh, I just love eggs.
Oh, I know, Red. I know. Now, moving on to the next question of how to get past the Sand Kingdom in Super Mario Odyssey. Well, to do this for the first time, you just need to collect enough power moons from that kingdom for the Odyssey to take off to its next destination. I believe you need to collect at least 16 moons from the Sand Kingdom to move on initially.
Now, for how to get past the Elite Four in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, well, you'll have to defeat each of the Elite Four in Pokemon Battle.
Make sure you've stocked up on potions, status effect healing, and revives. Luckily, you can do this at the Indigo Plateau right beforehand. And you'll want your Pokemon party to be all healed and leveled up, ready to take on those tough opponents. The Elite Four Pokemon have levels in the 50s range, so you should level up your party closer to that.
Now, I think it's wise to give a spoiler alert here, just in case you don't want to know anything about the Elite Four battle.
Good idea.
Spoiler alert, I repeat, spoiler alert. Now, your first encounter will be with Lorelei, who generally favors water, ice, and psychic types. After that, Bruno, who uses mostly fighting, rock, and water types. Then Agatha sends out largely poison and ghost types, and then Lance, who for the most part will send dragon and flying types. Of course, you might get the odd curveball thrown in, but knowing which types are good against what will really help.
From there, it's up to you and your trusty Pokemon team.
But on that note, I believe we're out of time for today. If you have a question you'd like to ask us, go here and send it in.
And if you make it a video question, you'll get some cool GGSP stuff if we use it on the show. You have some more egg facts you want to tell me, don't you?
Exactly. Egg Factly. Did you know that the colour of a chicken's egg is related to the colour of the earlobes of the hen that laid it?
I didn't even know hens had earlobes. You truly have extensive knowledge in this area.
What can I say? I'm an expert.
Is that true, though?
That is all the time we have for today, but get your Hyrule happy faces on because next week on the show, we review The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for the Switch.
Oh, I'm so excited to wield the Master Sword once again.
How do you grip a sword with, pasta scoops?
It's not easy, but all you've got to do is believe in yourself.
Oh, I like your attitude, Darren. Don't forget that we've got some online-only videos for you to catch up on, like this week's exciting look at Star Wars Pinball.
Feel the force of those flippers, but until next time, may all your games be good ones. Will out.
Rat out.
Gem out.
Darren out.